Hello, hello, hello. Excuse me. What's going on? Dr. S here. Coming to you from a different location. Kind of, sort of. Normally when I do my schedule live, I'm coming from my little office. Other times I'm popping on from the car. But since it's a snow day, I feel like I would do something a little different. So, hey guys, Dr. S here. I feel like I'm having a welcome to my home moment, where you see me in all my candid glory, my workout clothes when I didn't work out, freshly rolled over from a nap. They keep saying, just be you, just be authentic, just get on the interweb. So that's what I'm doing. So anyway, Dr. is here, dropping that because you didn't know you needed. And as always, it's my hope and prayer that they will help you be your best you. So join me while I set up my very big wall calendar. A couple of years ago, I had bought this calendar, and I would put all of my events and scheduling and different things on there. I'm a huge planner. My phone calendar is color coordinated. I put all of the things in there just because if it is not written down, it does not exist. So first of all, is anybody else like that? Are you very much like a planner? Look, I got my planner right here. All of the things. I realized a couple of weeks into 2026 that I hadn't gotten a new calendar. So, got a new calendar, and now I'm putting some stuff on my wall calendar. But anyway, since we home, we're snowed in. If you're in the St. Louis area, tap in. Let me know if you're snowed in, how much snow y'all got. Did you think it was going to snow? Did you go to the grocery store and couldn't find bread and milk because everybody had already cleared out the aisles? I just want to, chit chat. I want to talk a little bit about the support group that I have starting, the expo that's coming up, and then just any number of random things that may come to mind. I'm actually thinking about tagging some people to see if they are awake and available and want to hop on and talk about some things that they have going on, or just shoot the breeze. So if you are watching, hello. If you are watching and you want to tap in and talk, send a request. Let me know what you want to talk about, and I can add you in. I can't tell if who's here, who's in here. When someone just started clicking buttons. Well, now see, hey y'all, hey. I'm trying to see the little picture. If you're on right now, say something in the comments so I can see who it is. Let's see what y'all got going on. Hey Miranda, are you? What you doing right now? You want to pop on? Want to chop it up? I would love to hear how things are going with you and hubby and work and traveling and all of the things. I always like watching your post. Hey Constant. Okay, you went earlier in the week, right? And it worked. Listen, one thing I've learned about St. Louis is you take it literally with a grain of salt. Oh, it's gonna be this big thing, and you're like, yeah, and then you don't go, and then send you out. Then you don't go, and it's 15 feet of snow. But then other times you go and you take it seriously and you buy up all the store, and then nothing ever happens. So I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. Anissa, you said you sent your mama doing senior hour. Do they get a discount? How that work? Or they get in early? How old I gotta be to do that? How old I gotta be to get in early? Cause I feel like I'm a little more senior than I give myself credit for. I didn't realize that I was past due for getting my AARP card, but now I have it, so now I gotta figure out how to start using it so I can get my discounts. Anissa, for some reason I can't figure out how to request people in. So if you send me a request, let me see. It doesn't pop up. Constance, if you want to join, then I can have you because I know you do really cool things too. I really need this is what I really need to do. I really need a bunker. I really need like a storage facility so I can just stockpile on, water and canned goods and all that stuff. Because I love watching an apocalyptic movie. And in my head, I'd be like, I ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna make it. So I'm gonna need the rapture to happen. Because if we actually had something go down, me and y'all's internet nephew and the dog just gonna be sitting in the house praying. We're not gonna have no food, we're not gonna have water, we're not gonna be able to defend ourselves. I probably shouldn't put this on the interwebs. People know, be like, we can go get her. But yeah, I don't be prepared like that. Yeah, right. I can't see the request button. I did have on a bonnet too, which may throw people. That there it is. Let's see if it'll work. Because sometimes it doesn't work. People will be surprised. A legit rant live. People will be surprised that I do wear a bonnet because my head gets cold. So I'll be a little chilly and I'll throw my bonnet on, but then I'll have a hot flash and then I have to take the bonnet out. It's very weird. Like right now, I'm hot, I'm sweating, but I think that's because I'm up under this light. Hey Lisa.
Hey girl, I'm gonna have to do it this way because
I
like I
can't
can't
see.
see you on my phone.
Right,
So
I can't see
I'm
you either.
oh on the online we on there together.
Okay, all right.
Well, I'm
Facebook.
on Facebook on my laptop.
Okay, I don't know why Facebook
It's
does
so
it like that.
weird.
If anybody has any suggestions as to how to improve the going live with someone, please put it in the comments because I am curious. So tell me what's the senior hour because I need to know
I
the
think that's just a certain time people go because everybody be at work, and that's when like just the older people go because they at home. But it used to be like a certain time during COVID that only seniors could shop, but I would go because my mama wouldn't go nowhere. So it would just be like a certain like between like 8 and 9, something like that. I don't remember what the specific time was, but I knew when
Okay,
nobody gonna be in there earlier in the day. But
okay,
I knew by the time I got off work, that's when everybody was gonna be in there.
right, right,
So I just said, just go since you're gonna be here. You just go earlier in the day and
right.
get what you need to get.
I'm telling you now, I don't miss COVID like the original COVID,
hmm
but during COVID I did use Instacart. That was the only time I've ever used Instacart.
hmm
And I kind of want to go back to that because I honestly don't like going to the grocery store. It stresses me out. Like, I don't know why. It just walking up and down them. I don't know. I don't like grocery shopping. So to have to grocery shop in the state of an emergency or the pending
Oh,
emergency,
there was. Mm-mm.
I don't be want to do all that.
We just won't have nothing because I would go home.
Right. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I have to be like the saints of old. I'm gonna just have to go in the strength of the Lord. That's why I don't want to do it. Okay, look at the bottom with the star. Oh, okay. I clicked on it and it gave me a prompt to send a request to join. Okay, you can still join constantly if you want. Bonnet and all, because it's a snow day. We just out here just being willy nilly with it. All right, Dr. A. So since you on here, tell us a little bit about your consulting business.
So I have a consulting company. I'm still like in very early stages of it, but it is called the Metamorphosis Lab. And I came up with that because I'm a science teacher, for those who don't know. And metamorphosis, because as a teacher, you go through stages. You go through like this early stage of teaching, or you fresh and new and you think you can study the world and you really can, but you just don't know all the odds and ends yet. And as you grow, you can sometimes get complacent. You get more experience. And so the Metamorphosis Lab just services each stage of that growth. And I'm really still focusing on what my what's it called, area that I would really like to hone in on. So far, like I really like new teachers. I work with a lot of equity work and all of those things. There you go.
Hey, Constance.
Hey there. I just realized I did a whole braid down and still got a whole braid that has been. Oh, Jesus.
When I did have hair, I absolutely remember them days. You
Oh,
be at work and be like, "Oh, is this a 2-strand I missed?"
did a whole church recording earlier with that braid right there. Didn't even know.
That is hilarious.
Oops. Well, good
You ain't
evening.
gonna take your bonnet off though. You could have kept your bonnet off.
Oh, it's right here. It ain't forward.
All right. Like what you do, what you got going on?
Uh, I am really still just trying to get my feet wet per se with this full-time private practice, which congratulations, Miss is it Anissa? I want to make sure I say your name correct.
Yes.
Yes, on your consulting business.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. But I started my practice full-time in June, and so my caseload is good. I'm blessed and excited about that. But I really want to do some more speaking engagements. I want to do some
Mm-hmm.
more trainings, professional development, things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. So I'm trying to figure out, what that looks like and how to really market it, how to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really prayerful that this year, I have a couple of other things in the works, a journal, some
Mm-hmm.
affirmation cards, things of that nature, that I just kind of been sitting on
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of piddle paddling around with. And so I'm prayerful that it comes to pass, not just because I just want to get it out there, but because he tells me to move and I'm obedient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of what I got going on right now.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I am always thrilled when I hear about other sisters out here doing therapy and coaching and all this stuff because we need it. And we need people who
Mhm.
look like us and who can affirm the experiences that we have. And you know what I'm saying? So I always think that
Yeah.
that is a plus. And Dr. A and I were just talking about things that the Lord has called us to do, and we'll be
Mhm.
really excited like that first week, that first
Mhm.
month, that first quarter, and then it'll be like a year later, and we like, oh well, dang, what happened to this? So, how can we help support you in the journal and the other things that you need to get done?
It's interesting you say that because I find myself getting stuck sometimes between did he put this on my mind and my heart to do, or was this just me getting excited about something and moving on my own accord? And that's
Mm,
why it's not moving the way I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
So really just kind of sitting in that space,
mm,
um, to really sit on that. I'm an instant gratification person, so I'll get an idea about something. I want to jump, I want to move, I want to do it. Right then and there. And he done humbled me a couple times with no ma'am, that's not what I told you to do, or nor did I give that for you to do. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
really trying to sit in that space, really, really, really trying to work on discerning his voice,
okay.
so that
Mm-hmm.
I can know if it is of me or if it is just me moving on my
Mm-hmm.
own accord. Um, and so I guess if anything, I really feel like accountability from like-minded individuals is definitely a support um, I could use. Um, just having people around me that, like you said, that look like me, that are
Mhm.
going through or have been through the things that I'm doing or, in the realm of, I think just having that support system. I really need to get out more,
Okay.
connecting, networking with people. I don't do enough of that. And so I think that's really a push for this year as well. Support doesn't always look like people supporting you. Support can also look like you supporting other people, which brings, you know, things to you. So I think that's really going to be my push this year. Just accountability, meeting people, and just being in spaces with like-minded individuals.
That's exactly what swag is. I'll get back to that later.
I just saw the flyer, so I done already peeped it out. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask y'all this, and other people who may be watching currently, depending on how long this stays up, watching the replay. How do you decipher between it's something I'm just really excited about and something that I'm excited about, and also it's a call from the Lord? Like in the past, how have you all deciphered that, right? Made that determination of which is which. Because I can't see y'all. But Dr. A, I don't know if you wanted to say something or Thompson.
Because I can't see you.
I can't see y'all either. I can only see my picture, and the rest of my screen is black.
Same. I'm on my I'm on my phone and my laptop just so I can see somebody. So I can see both of y'all on my laptop, but on my phone I can't see y'all. And Sha-Lai, you're super zoomed in. I just want to let you know that. So if you watch this back, you'll be like, "What's going on?" I think for me, it's part of it. If it's something that I've never saw myself doing, like like you mentioned, you're doing like a journal, and I've never saw myself. Sunshine said she could see all three of us. Okay, I've never seen myself as a writer. So I'm actually. You said that you're sitting on a journal, as am I. I just told Dr. Sha-Lai about like I had started it and like actually started going through it myself. Like doing the prompts myself, and like you said that how not the excitement, but it just like fizzled out, and I just started doing other things. And I think when I remember it, I think this guy reminded me like, hey, you got this thing over here that you started on. So I think if it's something, I think to answer the first part of the question, I think if it's something that I normally myself have not seen myself do, that he guides me into doing. I never grew up like, oh, I want to be a writer, or I want never. That was never a thing of mine. And so yeah, I think that's one part of it. And it can also be like something that he has gifted us in. And you know, he'll say yay or nay or what have you. I just think it's just like the confirmation. I think it's like you said, it's been things that I've done and it's been like, okay, I never told you to do that. And so I think it's just really, like you said, discerning his voice is like the best way.
Yeah. I started reading Priscilla Shire's Discerning the Voice of God, and that has that's been helpful in terms of, you know, just hearing things that you've known, but to hear it from a different context has been helpful. So, you know, first and foremost, he's not going to tell you anything that goes against him. And so if something pops up in my mind that it's not even necessarily directly against him, but it takes my attention away from him, I know it's something I don't need to do. Or I started off with one journal and I have shifted to where it's mental health, but it's a lot more faith-based now than it was before. So now I'm like, okay, well, that's pushing his message out there. And so that can't not be, you know, from him.
Right.
But I think part of the issue that I'm having is almost the opposite. I've always wanted to write. I've started so many books, journals. I mean, I've probably got about 5 or 6 of them just sitting there. But I'm also an overthinker. And so I'll write it. I had the thing done. I was ready. And then I overthought it and almost kind of wiped the whole thing out. And so now it's just really sitting with okay, but what is, I say this to my clients as well when they like, I don't know if I should do this. I always ask them, well, what are you doing and why? If you can give yourself a logical, reasonable explanation for what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it, then that gives you something to stand on. But if you're just kind of piddle paddling around making excuses and then the third, it's likely you're not supposed to be doing it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really trying to, might have just answered my question, but hone in on what that journal is for. What are you doing and why? I
Yeah.
love when, again, discerning the spirit. I'm learning now that that wasn't just me. That was the Holy Spirit talking to and through
Mm-hmm.
me. So
Mm-hmm.
I, again, just learning to really buy into that voice, to
Mm-hmm.
the process and understand it. And those are the messages I share with people. Like I am not a person or a therapist that just has it all together. So I'm learning this thing right along with you, but I also don't want to be hypocritical. I'm pushing you out there, do your thing, do your thing. And then I'm sitting here
Mm-hmm.
on things that he's given me to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I really think just one, building my relationship with Christ the first and foremost, so that I know his words and know his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then just pouring into things like that, you know, in what ways, what am I feeding myself in terms of
Mm-hmm.
literally and physically? What am I watching? What am I
Mm-hmm.
listening to?
Mm-hmm.
You know, things of that nature, so that I can truly know
Mm-hmm.
it's him, what's of him,
Mm-hmm.
and moving in that space. So I think that's really how I'm trying to navigate. Like, is this him talking
Mm-hmm.
to me? Because it won't be a question if you know his word.
Mm-hmm. Sunshine said, "Buy into that voice."
Yes, buy into that.
So let me say, I love me some Sunshine. I have had the
Mm-hmm.
pleasure and honor of doing a training with her, and I miss it. I want to do another one with you because the
Mm-hmm.
energy together, Sunshine and Sunflowers,
Yes,
we were making things happen. So that, and she has been one that has been pouring into me since that training, and I was not a
mm-hmm.
full-time therapist then, so I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that.
That's good.
Yeah, I love it. I love the support and I love what you all were saying. So, like, what I took away from what y'all shared was one, if it's not something necessarily that you're like, oh my gosh, I want to
Mhm.
do this. Like, I want to be on the stage. I want to write the book. I want to be
Mm-hmm.
in front of people. I feel like when you think about the biblical examples, almost all of them was like, nah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And God was like, no, come on. So
Mm-hmm.
when he is challenging us out of our comfort
Mm-hmm.
zone or those things that we are familiar with, then maybe it is the unction of the Holy Ghost moving on
Mm-hmm.
us. And then when we feel that unctioning, taking that time to pause, pray,
Mhm.
seek wise counsel to make sure we're
Mm-hmm.
not moving in haste.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
also, though, I think Constance mentioned it, like being an overthinker. And Dr. A and I talk all day, every day. And we both know we are, reforming. We are in the process of reforming our overthinking. Um,
Mhm.
but like, you've heard God, you've prayed, you got confirmation, you know it's what you're supposed to do, and then you
Mhm.
still like, So I think for some of us, that's the additional hump that we need to get over is like, okay, he's wet the ground around the fleece. He's wet the
Mm-hmm.
fleece. He's sent a
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
sign. We got every confirmation. So now it's just a matter of us moving
Mm-hmm.
forward in the thing that he's called us to do. And I love Constant when you said, like you shouted out Sunshine, who I have yet to meet, but I'm gonna meet because I'm coming through the spot. Um, but like having those people in your ear who are supporting you, right? Who are
Mhm.
encouraging you to move forward. Who are like, you got this, you can do this. Here's how I can help. I love that the people on my timeline, at least the ones I see
Mhm.
regularly on my timeline, are those people. They're the people who are helping to push you out. Who, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you can do
Mhm.
this. Let's try it. I'll help you do this. They're not gatekeeping. Um, the thing. So I love that. Sunshine, I think I can get 4 people on here. Do you want to pop on? Sunshine, I want to talk to all the people today because it's a season and I don't have nothing else to do. Um, this is random because Constance, you have kids, right? Or a kid?
I do. I have a big little person.
Okay. Because did you comment on my post earlier? I was watching movies. Y'all were gonna watch movies today?
Yes, sure
Okay.
did.
So Dr. A and I, as I said, we talk all day, every day. So y'all probably know that y'all internet nephew, soon to be 16. mind blown. Left out of my house on Friday. It was 14 degrees outside. Okay. 14 degrees outside. He left out of my house in a short sleeve shirt. No hoodie, no jacket, no hat, scarf, gloves. And I was so confused because it's the same child that when it's 90 degrees outside.
Got on a full hoodie.
Got on a full hoodie.
Ski mask and everything.
So I was like,
them ski masks be taking. I'm like, why must y'all wear this stuff?
So I'm just curious, as you know, fellow parents, Dr. A is an educator, like is it a phenomenon that I am unaware of, that little people's skin is different?
No.
The way they regulate temperature is different.
No. They ain't got sick enough. They have not got sick as a dog.
Lazy is what I'm gonna call that. That's lazy.
Okay. They ain't got sick enough. And then they see other kids do it, so then it just catches on. Because I was like, I know I walked out like yesterday in dismissal. I stopped 4 kids. Put your coat on. Like, what is happening? Why are you wearing shorts, sir? Why you got Crocs on? Why don't you have like shoes on your feet? I don't know. And like you said, in 90-degree weather, they wearing full sweatsuits.
Looking
about to pass out.
Looking all kinds of crazy.
I'm trying to reflect. It's been a very long time since I was in school, so I'm trying to remember like my middle school, high school. I feel like we wore coats.
We did, because we would have got knocked out. My mama to this day, I'm 40, tell me to put gloves on. Like, what? Put a hat on. Put something around your neck. I still hear that.
Some big mamas, is that what it is? Do I need to? I'm still in my auntie. I'm still in my auntie realm. I ain't turned to a big mama yet, but I feel like I might need to be a big mama because.
And roll up to the school.
Look, I gotta get the one in my house first before I can roll up to the school. But like in my head, like all I hear is put a hat on, you gonna catch a cold. How you outside with nothing around your neck? Like
that's all we heard. That's it.
They went down the whole body.
You better not walk out the house with no hat off or no scarf on, no ear. You better not walk out that way.
And then had a nerve to say, it's cold.
Yes.
I sure text my child when he got home. I said, were you cold today? Yes. Oh, you were supposed to be, because that was done. Because that was not a smart.
And it be cold in the classrooms. Like my classroom was freezing. I had to put my jacket on.
I don't know. It's weird. So then to make matters, I ain't gonna say worse. So then I go, well, let's go shopping. Let's go get you some hoodies since I don't have no clothes. Let's go get some hoodies. Let's go get a jacket you actually want to wear. He didn't want to do that. Again, to my parents. How many of y'all children know about all these high-priced name brand, they don't have no jobs, money, nothing to purchase, but they want this stuff? So he said, well, we can just get a spider sweater, a spider hoodie. I said, what's that? How much it would cost? This child said $400.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. It's gonna be a no for me.
Like, what? No. I didn't know about Spider. My child be talking about Christian Dior, Balenciaga. If you can spell Balenciaga, I'll buy you some.
Christian Dior, child. Oh my goodness.
I be needing the feedback because I'm like, is it me? Am I tripping? Because these kids on something. Constance, how old your baby?
He's 9, so he hasn't gotten to that point yet. He don't care where it came from, anything like that. He is not into. He does like certain like design things, like he likes Converses or things like that. But he's not asking for things like that, which I'm not mad at him. Not mad at all. I pray that spirit sits on him for quite some time.
Right.
This,
I mentioned
this
that.
hoodie should have an internal heating system for $400. Like, it should have a bill. Like, you should pay a gas bill for that
I'm
hoodie for
trying to tell
$400.
you.
Right. Not it's like they don't have a filter, right? So not like we can even start in at maybe like $100 hoodie. Like we go way the 400.
See, and that's still a stretch for me. 100. I don't know
Right. Right. I'm like at least start reasonable. Like you ain't even
Oh,
start reasonable. And you know I'm gonna say no. Like you
we
know
ain't
I'm
even
gonna
get to negotiate.
like, oh
paying
wait a minute.
$50 for a hoodie, and I have a job. I be questioning. I'm like, I'm not doing. It got to be $30
Absolutely.
for me to buy it.
Absolutely.
Good job. It ain't spending that kind of money. They special. They is special. I
Gotta
do.
love 'em.
Gotta love them, but nine is a good age. I do miss that age.
Mm-mm. Show right, Sunshine. $400. That's the 365 hoodie. Show is. Show
Right.
is.
Because I sure was like, you gonna wear it every day. You gonna wear it every day. You gonna sleep in it. You got
Mm.
everything you do gonna be in
Yeah,
that hoodie. Because
yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy work. All right. So we were talking about like accountability,
yeah.
support, like-minded people. So just a quick plug for swag, support, worship, and accountability group that is starting up next month. It's virtual. So anybody watching this, if you are, of course, local, but if you're anywhere in the world, you can join because it's virtual. It's only 6 times because one thing I have found is that attrition is real. People fall off for any number of reasons, life, they get bored, they get disinterested. And so it's not a huge time commitment, but it's enough time and enough meeting to keep you kind of on track through the course of the year. Because I did that vision board party a couple of weeks ago, and even though I haven't always done a vision board, I'll be like, I'm gonna do this, and this. And again, by March, April, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
definitely by the time the summer hit, I'm like, we're gonna try again next year. So I know how easy it is to fall off. So swag is a perfect opportunity to tap in with people who also want to accomplish things. It's going to be a very, very small group, so we can spend that time holding one another accountable, so we can support one another, so we can pray and worship and be encouraging in that way. So if that's something you think you might be interested in, anyone watching, anyone sharing this video, tagging people, definitely go to drshalay.com/events-1. One thing I want to talk about, I hadn't planned on talking about this. Again, we're fruit salad because it's snow day. So you got 2 therapists on the line. You have an educator on the line. Let's talk about Black folk and therapy.
Mm.
Let's talk about how, and Christian Black folk and therapy. Let's talk a little bit just about our experiences in learning the importance of merging the two. How you can be a Christian and talk to a therapist. Be a Christian and be better educated about your mental health. Constance, what you thinking?
My immediate thought for that is James 2:26 or 2:28. I might have my verses wrong, but faith without works is dead. And so
Come
I
on.
tell to people all the time in reference to we can pray all day,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't pray for, oh Lord, just send me
Mm-hmm.
$1,000, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna be a pot of money in our
Mm-hmm.
hand. No. First and foremost, he needs to know and see that we can be good stewards of the things that we're praying for. So we have to go out and show and work to prove and show, that we can hold on to and be good stewards of the things that he gives us. And so I say that to say with people that talk about, yeah, I go to church and this, that, and the third. And don't get me wrong, again, as a faithful Christian disciple, follower of Christ, and things of that nature, all of that is good. I am fed in that way. But he also tells us to go be a fisher among men. So I need to take the information that I am receiving and go and share that with people. And so for me, that comes through. I tell people all the time, therapy is not my career, it's my ministry. And so helping people to understand how to navigate life, how to take care of their minds, how to pour into themselves, those very much go together. And it makes me think of Dr. Eccles in terms of the dimensions of wellness. When you look at the dimensions of wellness, there's 8. One of those is intellectual or your mind. Another one is spirituality or your faith. They're one and the same. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, or you can. But when one area of your life is imbalanced, other areas are going to have to kick into high gear to make up for it. So that's one of my soapbox things. Of one of my trainings, those professional developments I do, is the balance between faith and mental health. They are one and the same. They need to go together. It's a cord that needs to be woven together. He should be at the center of all we do. And our mind, an idle mind, is the devil's playground. And so if we don't have a good handle on our mindset and our mind frame, then it makes it easy for intrusive thought, negativity, things of that nature to come into play. And then if we don't have a solid foundation to stand on, we end up giving in to those thoughts. And so for me, that's, I got to have a good handle on my faith and have him rooted in me, so that when my mind does get to drifting, because we're human, I have a good realm to go back to, a foundation to stand on, that I can now pour these things back together. Pull myself back. I felt myself going. Oh.
That's good. That's good. Yes, I love that. I have a thought. Dr. A, you have something before?
No, like I was never like against therapy. I remember my mom had me in therapy very early because I was experiencing some, now that I know, mental health challenges like depression and suicidal thoughts, and she had me in therapy super early. So I was never raised in that, well, we don't go to therapy, we just go to church. I know people who are like that, but I was never raised into that. For a while, when I grew into adulthood, though, I've forgotten about that. And I started to become one of those. Oh, I'm at church all the time, so I don't need therapy. And then I started to realize that there were just always these things, and it may have been the church that I was raised in, but it was always these things I always had questions about. And I remember I heard someone says your pastor assist you with your soul, however a therapist assists you with the emotional part of you, your mind, your things like that. So I think I started going back to therapy right after I got divorced, and I have been in pretty much like consistently, but whenever I've had the need, I have been in therapy. And so just like you have a medical doctor who takes care of your physical needs, to me that's what a therapist is for your mental needs.
Absolutely.
Amen. I feel like I love both those answers, and Miss, I see Miss Juanita in the comments. I love that, because I feel like sometimes as a believer, we think very one dimensional, right? We think very much like just the spirit part, the spirit man, the spiritual aspect, but we are multi-dimensional, at bare minimum 3 dimensions, right? So flesh, soul, spirit. And so why not address all of those?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can, you said it when you said the scripture, Constance, like, okay, we got faith, we praying, but what am I doing? If I'm not reaching out, if I'm not the woman with the issue of blood, she didn't just sit at the house and wish away her issue. She sought doctors. She then sought Jesus, but she did some actions to address this very physical thing that was happening. And so I love that, it seems like for some of us, and maybe it's a generational thing, we got to help some other folks realize, like, no, it's not just fasting and prayer. I know it's the top of the year. We're doing all this consecration. Shout out to y'all finishing up y'all Daniel fasts. Hallelujah. And if you dealing with depression, if you know you're dealing with anxiety, if you know you have some childhood trauma that you are we talk about generational curses, okay, well then address that. You got some childhood trauma you putting on your kids because you Go see the therapist. It don't have to be me. It don't have to be Constance. My timeline is full of therapists. Most of them Christian or faith-based. Let's go seek therapists. No shame. No shame. We all need it. We all need therapy. Just like we all need Jesus. We all need therapy.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to read the comments. I tried to move my camera so y'all can see more than just my big little bald head in the screen.
And I've even been to a therapist who was not Christian, and I didn't like it. Like having a Christian therapist for me is almost like a non-negotiable now, as early as I am, because like having like the faith that I have and knowing like, I guess I just feel like I trust a Christian therapist more than like I said, I've had like, I actually at one point in my life sought out someone who was not Christian, and I was like, I can't. I be telling Dr. Sha-Lai that I call it diet therapy. Like I can't do it. I need to get in there and be able to say, and not only you give me which makes total sense to me. You give me the mental perspective or the brain science of it, but tying it into the word. Like I heard someone preach on how like renewing your mind is nothing but neuroplasticity, right? Like it's nothing but reforming neural pathways. But the Bible told us that a long time ago, before the word neuroplasticity was even a thing. And so like that, it just makes so much sense to me.
Miss Anissa, ask me what Bible plan I'm doing right now.
Renewing your mind.
Renew your mind. Come on. Actually, let me show you the shirt I just made.
Hello. Yes, we need therapists or any person that you're going to have in your space that aligns with what you're trying to do. That's so key.
Yeah, I like that. Sorry.
Literally, when you said metamorphosis earlier, I said, ooh, Romans 12:2. And learning about renewing, like metamorphosis is transformation. Metamorpho in the Bible is transformation, but it's specifically in reference to renewing your mind. So as soon as you said that, I said, well, and those are, again, discerning his voice. The more I hear that, the more I'm like, you on the path that you supposed to be doing. But again, and I'm glad you mentioned earlier, excuse me. We were talking about, you talked about like people doing the Daniel fast. And the one thing I think sometimes people fail to realize is, yes, you have to completely yield yourself to God. But if your mindset is not in a place to get through a fast, you're going to fall short. Like your mind has to be trained. It has to be focused on, because you are essentially starving yourself in some aspects, not from a food sense. Yes, from a food sense, depending on what you're fasting. But your mind is having to starve in some areas in terms of feeding into thoughts and things of that nature. And if that is not a clear example of why faith and mental health are so important and go hand in hand, I don't know what is. And what makes it even more important is once that 22nd day happens, after your 21-day fast, you're going to go right back to what you were doing before. And you're going to be back in the same place unless you were able to renew your mind through that fast. And so I'm so glad you mentioned that, because fasting is a beautiful thing, but we also have to be mindful of what it is that we're fasting for. So there's a whole bunch of different types of fasts. Are you fasting for weight loss? Are you fasting to build connection with God? Are you fasting to die of yourself in the area of those strongholds that we have in our lives that are keeping us in bondage? Like, what are you fasting for? So that you can carry out the fast in the way that you truly intend to, and to connect with God in a way when you're falling short, he then becomes your strength. I meant to say that earlier. I love the name of your consulting company, especially now that I'm learning about that metamorphosis.
Thank you.
So good. So check out Miss Constance, aka Connie. I'm seeing people call you in the chat for those t-shirts. I was looking at those t-shirts earlier. How can we get those shirts from you?
Listen. We were just talking about God telling us to move on stuff. I had stopped with t-shirts for a while. I stopped because I was moving away from the purpose of it. I created
Mhm.
these shirts because I wanted to get the message. I wanted to get a message out there.
Mhm.
And then I realized, just in full transparency, part of my testimony, it became more about money for me.
Mhm.
And so I said, I have to pull back because now my message is gone. And that's not
Mhm.
what I'm trying to put out there. And so now my designs have even changed where they're more faith-based. And so
Mhm.
now I'm praying on God, is this what you have for me? Is this what you want me to do? Because if so, I want to do it, but I want to do it right this time. And so with that being said, I've been kind of just waiting to see if there was even a desire for it. And then
Mhm.
if it is, I'll put them back on my website is what I'll do.
Well, it looks like there's a desire for it, ma'am. So you don't want to put those back on your website.
Yeah,
And
I think so. I think so.
yes, and then Tori asked about finding a good Christian therapist. So yes, you got two on the line, and you can DM either one of us for additional recommendations. So like I said,
Absolutely.
I'm not selfish. It's somebody for everybody. I might not be your cup
Absolutely.
Mhm.
of tea. Somebody else might not be your cup of tea. So I don't mind making a
Absolutely.
referral, because the important
Mhm.
thing is that you get the help that you need. So
Mhm.
Tori,
Mhm.
hit us up and we can definitely give you some recommendations. And Constance, as you were talking about just how we have to get our heart and mind right for fasting. Here's the thing with
Mhm.
fasting. Dr. A, I'm going to keep referencing because we talk about all of the things all the time.
Mhm.
An actual fast, like, right, so we're like, oh, I'm gonna do a Daniel's fast, or I'm gonna do I'm not gonna eat from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., or I'm gonna fast from media, or all of that. All of those things are great. And when we think about the fruit of the spirit, we are fasting for real daily. Like me bringing my flesh under control and not cussing you out, that's fasting. Me having self-control
Mhm.
and not fornicating, that's fasting.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
so sometimes we get in our mind, it's this like tangible thing that we do corporately with
Mhm.
our church, or this, thing that we do with our prayer group. But every day, as we
Mhm.
are renewing our mind and bringing this flesh under subjection, we're fasting.
Mhm.
For sure.
Mhm.
So whether you're
It's
doing
good.
consecration or not, every day we have the opportunity to bring this flesh under subjection, to mortify the
Mhm.
flesh, to do all
Mhm.
of these things that our fleshly nature want to do, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Dr. A and I, we talk about that. Like, I want to go eat this ho and cookie, but I'm not.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
self-control, that restraint,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's fasting. So
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think if we look at it as like a daily lifestyle thing, as opposed
Mhm.
to only this thing that we do periodically from a
Mhm.
specific thing, it might open us
Mhm.
up a little bit more, right? It might help us
For
be a
sure.
little more discerning in our
Mhm.
decision making, because we recognize that every day we fast, or should be, or could.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I don't know what
Mhm.
y'all think about that.
125%.
Mhm.
125%. So yes, I love that. Let's see, what else have I been thinking about recently? Um, okay, let's talk about women's conferences since I have an expo coming up. What was the last women's conference you went to, and what was your biggest takeaway? Well, actually, before you answer that question, Dr. A, talk about the conference that you're going to be speaking at in a couple of, like, 6 weeks.
Is it 6 weeks? Sheesh. I am speaking at a conference called Jewel Warrior, which I have the T-shirt on. um, it is a group that Dr. Sha-Lai actually introduced me to. It's in this town, Bourbon, Missouri, at a Salvation Army play where kids go camping every summer. And it's really, really good. I really like it because it's so unorthodox to what I have experienced. I'm a church baby. I grew up in church. And it's, you see, first of all, you see women from all walks of life come together and worship there. And so it's really good. It's a place where you come, you stay the weekend. We have like class sessions. There's a party on Saturday night, and there are four, I feel like four speakers Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night. So yeah, four speakers. And so yeah, it's really, really good. I also, Constance, want to do more speaking. So I present at like education conference. Well, not like on the main stage, but like in sessions. And
Time
so that
out.
is something.
Time out. We ain't quantifying it. She speak at conferences, ma'am. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Okay, so I want to do more like doing professional development, some of the same things you do. So yeah, I am speaking I will be the Saturday morning speaker at the Jewel Warrior Conference. And this year the theme is Destiny Architects, and it's broken down into three mini themes, I should say: reinvent, rebuild, and reinvest.
Ooh. And how can people register for that? Do you know?
I can put the link on my page. I just saw the flyer on another person's page like yesterday. So I'm gonna start sharing that, and I believe you can register at jewelwarrior.com. I want to make sure it's not .org or anything. Yeah, it's
Okay.
jewelwarrior.com. But I'll put the link on my page and pin it.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we not quantifying. You at the thing. That's right, Sunshine. Tell don't minimize it. All right. So last conference you went to, takeaway. Anyone. And anyone in the chat too can share.
Hmm.
Okay, I was about to say, what? I know it was one. I was about to say yours, Sha-Lai, but it was one before, after that. It was Minister Alicia's conference.
Oh yes, he did
Was
go to
was the
Minister
most
Alicia
recent
Fuller in Columbus, Ohio. Yes. What was your greatest takeaway?
one. Hers was, I can't remember the exact theme of like the wording, but it was based on sisterhood. And I remember she said
Mhm.
sisterhood was a lifeline. And on my vision board, talking about vision board parties, I put on there, allow my support system to support me.
Mm.
Um, because I am one who gives out support. I don't always allow um others to support me, whether I don't share, I don't whatever. I that is something that I am learning to do through sisterhood, right? So I would say that's the biggest thing, that sisterhood is a lifeline.
Amen. What about you, Constance?
So remember how I said earlier that I'm working on getting out there doing more things. And so in full transparency, I don't know if I have been to a full women's conference now that I think about it, if I'm just being completely honest. I did do I was on a panel for the actually, you know what? That's not true. Last year I did the Working Women's event. It
Okay.
was at the convention center in St. Charles, and I was on the panel for that. And I think my biggest takeaway from that was that women can and are doing this, if I'm being completely honest. Like to look in that room and to be in the convention center and see 3 floors of women's businesses that are out
Mm-hmm.
there, that are thriving, that are doing things. It just was confirmation that there is a place for us in this world. We do not have to be held bound to the limitations that the world or society tries to put on us. And to just keep doing what has been put in our hearts to do. Um, so I would say that was really my biggest takeaway. And to walk around that room and to see so many businesses of people that look like me was was beautiful. That was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think the last conference I was at was Minister Alicia's conference as well. And I think one thing I took away from her conference, and similarly to Jewel Warrior and other conferences, is don't limit yourself to only your friend group,
Mhm.
right? I feel like there are some, like just today I was looking at um, Melanie Pruitt has a conference coming up. Um, Angela Payne has a prayer
Mhm.
conference coming up. Just like a couple of people that are popping in my mind. I feel like it's um, Bishop Dylan over at Agape Time. She has like it's always something. If you try and stay safe in St. Louis, they got you. They got you.
I love it.
But if you are only comfortable with your little group of people,
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes you're
Mhm.
gonna limit yourself, right? You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
limit
Mhm.
your exposure to other believers. You're gonna limit
Mhm.
your exposure to um, just broadening your circle, right? There are so many people who have so many gifts and talents and expertise and knowledge who you
Mhm.
might not encounter if you
Mhm.
don't go to the conference.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to conferences where I don't know nobody, maybe not even
Mm-hmm.
the person hosting it. I don't know, but I'm like, that seems really interesting. Or I'm dealing with something. I'm like, Lord, I just wanna be around your people, and something to pop up in my timeline.
Mhm.
Oh, so I would say that's my takeaway in general is like challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone just a little
Mhm.
bit. Now I'm not saying go everywhere, because
Mhm.
also there are all kind of things on our timeline that you like, and that's just tomfoolery. So I'm not saying
Mhm.
that. Use
Mhm.
discernment and wisdom, but be
Mhm.
open to going somewhere
Mhm.
that might be a little different. I'm trying to read the
Mm-hmm.
comments.
Mhm.
Miss Juanita said the last conference she went to was Call It As It Is in Heaven and Glory. After this, what you took away was that conference to learn how to position yourself to get into God's glory. Come on. It was so much
Mm-hmm.
more than that, but that was one thing. Amen.
Come
To
on,
learn to
cousin.
move unafraid. That's right.
Come on,
Yes,
cousin.
that's right. And let me throw in this little plug too when I talk about, stepping outside of our comfort zones.
Mm-hmm.
Also, every name doesn't have to be a big name for you to show
Mhm.
up.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Every conference not gonna be a woman evolve.
Mhm.
Every
Mm-hmm.
conference not gonna be a. I can't think of any other big name ones, and no shade against woman evolve. I used to knock down doors to get to TD Jakes conferences,
Yeah,
but everyone is not gonna be a Priscilla Shire. Been to see her
for
too.
Mhm.
So
sure.
no
For
shade.
sure.
Every conference not gonna be a Jackie Hill. Period. Been there too. Not no shade. How so? The little church on the corner around your
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
house, it's a
Mhm.
powerhouse there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
$25. Go.
Mhm. Mhm.
We'll buy a flight, book a hotel room, spend money in gas to go hear people
Absolutely.
who they don't know your name.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Go to the church around the corner. Support them people. It's a word there too. So
Mm-hmm.
just real quick, wanted to throw that out there. Just want to say that real fast. How long we been on here? Anybody been keeping track of the time?
Just 35 minutes. Like 35 minutes.
I feel like we've been up here for days. That is hilarious. Dr. A, or Constance, anybody in the chat, anything y'all want to talk about? Because it's a snow day. So we just freestyle.
I just appreciate the space. We're moving unafraid.
Yes,
Mhm.
unafraid. Yes, Tori, Jewel Warrior is an amazing
Oh,
conference.
58
Okay,
minutes. Okay.
okay, CPA
You
man.
know,
Okay,
my mind say 35. Maybe I clicked out of it and came back in.
maybe. Oh, maybe that's what it was. So I'll say something really quickly about Jewel Warrior. I attended Jewel Warrior again, knowing one person, and that was a person I had just met like the month before. I don't know if she'll see this. Patrice Hardy. She was a writer, so they have a blog that comes out every day, right? In the daily, Doctor. Um,
Yeah.
a write up that comes out every day, so you can find Jewel Warrior on Facebook. They have a Facebook
Mhm.
page.
Mhm.
So Patrice was a writer for the Jewel Warrior blog. I met her at a church, connected on social media. We ended up meeting in person. It was definitely a divine God thing. And she was like, hey, I'm going to this conference next month. You want to go? Sure. Went to the conference, have met so many dope women of God that I would not have met had I not been willing to get out of my comfort zone. And like Dr. A said, it is such a diverse group of women, racially, socioeconomically, just upbringing, like all of the things. Because again, first of all, we talk about we all going to heaven. Heaven not just gonna be us. So let's fellowship now.
Yeah.
With different people, and just explore like what that looks like, right? Like it was at that conference that I met now Pastor Cortega Collins, and she spoke a word into my life that prompted Roar Like a Lioness Women's Conference. That the very first one I had, Lena Chapman was one of the speakers, and Dr. A knew Lena, so she came to see Lena, and that's how we connected. And you see what I'm saying? It be the domino effect, right? So us exploring these different circles and avenues and spaces and places not only build us up and encourage us, it could be that link in the connection to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So I love that about God. Like I love connection and building those networks and communities. So let me hear your thoughts, Constance, like, because I know you said you're branching out a little bit more. What do you think you could take away from building your sisterhood circle?
I think one of the biggest things that I can take away from building my sisterhood circle is literally just spreading the gospel. It's just an opportunity to connect with other people and to fellowship. I really think that that's one of the biggest things to take away is an opportunity to fellowship with other like-minded individuals, with other people who can see the God in me, and then I can see it in them. And then again, when one or two are gathered, he's amongst us, you know. And so I really think that that's the biggest thing is just surrounding yourself with a support system of people where I can lean on you in my moments and times of weakness, because you strip away the title of therapist, and behind that is still a woman who experiences life just like, you know, everybody else. And so it helped lift me up when, especially in the roles that we're in, we spend so much time pouring into and giving and lifting up other people that kind of like you were saying earlier, Miss Anissa, of, you know, this year I'm trying to allow my support system to support me. And so just being able to be in spaces where we can be loved on and love on other people, I think is one of the biggest things. It's just surrounding yourself with like-minded people so that if I want my spirit to stay intact, I need to have people around me that will help hold me accountable. You know, even when, like you said, it's easy for me to flip or make excuses for things. When I got somebody standing in the gap with me, they can check me, and we need to be checked. We need to be checked sometimes. So I think that's the biggest thing. Love on me like God loves on me, so I can love on you like God loves on you. And hopefully that's just a bit of a seed in the world that can help transform this world that we live in.
Man, amen. Dr. A, anything you want to add to that?
Yes, it takes a level of bravery and courage to do that. Because like I said, I only went, like, for example, meeting Dr. Sha-Lai, I only went because I knew one of the speakers. I didn't know that was her first conference. I didn't know, like, in meeting Dr. Sha-Lai, I've met so many other people. Like, there was this other group of women. It's called Gathering of the Women, and Dr. Sha-Lai, I feel like, sent out a message. Maybe the organizer of the trip, her name is Anita. One of them sent out a message, and it came to me by Dr. Sha-Lai. So in my mind, the group that I just met was going, and it wasn't. I knew the only person I knew on that trip was Dr. Sha-Lai. So I have jumped on the plane. Now I'm in distance with people I don't even know. But it turned out like so well. And the reason I say it takes a level of courage or bravery, because when you have been in spaces that should have fostered what you are describing and you got hurt from it, you're timid. You don't want to go, at least for me, I don't want to go and be vulnerable in these new spaces, because the spaces that I were in were supposed to be discipled in, I've gotten hurt in. So now all new spaces, like it's the same. I feel like, or I felt like it was going to be the same thing. So being able to be in a space, and that's one thing that I know God has been dealing with me over a couple years about what was counterfeit sisterhood versus what's actually authentic God given sisterhood, like from people who don't know you but they can still speak into you, um and love on you and pray for you and go to war for you, me, Dr. Sha-Lai, and a couple of other people. Like I said, I've never met people that we can call down fire from heaven, and then 2 minutes later we twerking to back that thing up, right? Like like it don't get no more authentic than that. And so, but I just think that is just a testament of, like you were saying, the love of the Father, right? Like that's how you experience his love on earth through his children. And yes, we have experienced, who claim to be his children, not that love. We have experienced hurt, but that
Right.
also shows the kindness of the Father to give, to redeem that, right? Like to just restore that in somebody completely different. So it does take bravery, because I'm very much, I can stay at home. Dr. Chalet's the extroverted one of the two, so I can stay at home. I only have a calendar because she'd be like, "You want to go to this?" Yeah. So it is definitely it's definitely like some courage, some trust that's in that. Um, so yeah, I get it.
That's so good. So let me just clarify real quick. When we're twerking, it's just among us. There are no
It's just among
poses.
us.
There are no other people. It's just a whole girl. So let me, for somebody to be like, did you? Let me clarify. But yes, we are real well rounded. We are well rounded. Now we could talk about that too, because sometimes my mom used to say, and I didn't understand it then. She used to be like, you can't be so heavenly bound, earthly good. And I did
Mm-hmm,
not know what that meant. I'd be like, I
mm-hmm,
don't be heaven bound. What you mean? But I said,
mm-hmm,
in all things you need balance. So
mm-hmm,
just want to say that fast. So yeah, so branching out, broadening our circle so we can continue to evangelize and be a witness for the Lord, and share his goodness to those who may not hear it otherwise, to challenge some experiences that we have maybe had in the past with counterfeit sisterhoods and connections, even in the church. Um, to learn that you can actually connect with people who are like-minded and healthy, who are going to be supportive of you and not tearing you down. So those are a couple of things that I pulled from what you all said. And so I had read Miss Juanita's comment, and then Constance shared. What came to mind in reading this is walking in spaces unafraid. We will turn from places that are unknown or appear dismal and move out of comfort or what is known, but we know what that path holds, and it's not what we need. Yes, I was looking at that too, and was thinking about you're lost in the right direction. And it made me think about the children of Israel when they were leaving Egypt, right? So they were going in the right direction. They were going to the promised land, but they got lost in the sense of they got distracted by what they were seeing, what they
Yeah.
considered discomfort.
mm-hmm,
Um, it was unfamiliar, right? We could have stayed in Egypt and
mm-hmm,
ate cucumbers and go mosey on to the promised land and start fussing. So that's what I thought. What came to my mind when you said lost in the right direction, and so doing it unafraid and doing it trusting God. Right? If they had
mm-hmm,
fully had faith in God, it
mm-hmm,
is different. It is uncomfortable. I'm not
Absolutely.
sure where I'm going, but I'm going to follow this leader, right, Moses, that you sent. And so rather than wandering in the wilderness for 40 years and then dying off and not getting to the promised land, let me just
Absolutely.
listen. Let me just trust. Let me just go. And so that
Absolutely.
that could be one explanation. And you're right in the wrong direction. So that
Mhm.
made me think about Jonah, right? So you're right in the wrong direction. So he knew what he needed to do. But rather than just go to Nineveh, just follow instructions. And how many of us have been Jonah? Anything I ever say that will never be shade, because I have been every character in the Bible in some way, shape, or form. So no shade against Jonah. But we know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But we're going in the wrong direction and messing up other people's lives in the process.
Yeah.
So those are my two thoughts, uh, Sister Juanita, to add on to what Reverend Dr. Constance said.
No, do not give my cousin any additional names to call me or to say to me, because she gonna do it.
That
But
is
you
funny.
know, when you
That's
said that, it made me think about the path to God is narrow, but the rest of the world is so wide, and so it's so easy to move, in those spaces that are comfortable, than it is and I see things in visuals. And so it makes me look at, like, if there was this beautiful garden. Ooh, I want to go there. It's colorful, it's all kinds of stuff. And then on the other side, there's this land that, how, like, when it's just rained and it's kind of foggy and kind of dark. Well, I want to go over there because this looks pretty. And so, but we already know what's in that pretty land. It's serpents. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were serpents in the Garden of Eden that was in there wreaking havoc, messing things up. But we'll move that way because we are looking at things with our natural eyes opposed to discerning our spirit. Go ahead and move in that darkness because you don't know what's in there, but because you're afraid to go towards it, you won't go. And so you go out of comfort. And that, I think that's that kind of lost in the right direction type of mindset. And like you said, just going and doing things unafraid. That is one of my goals. And so this conversation is so helpful because I told myself earlier, I'm gonna get out there more. Just even go out, and even if I go and sit at a restaurant by myself, or something like that, just doing things. It's not necessarily about going to see something or someone, but again, just moving in spaces that feel uncomfortable, that are foreign, per se to us. So this conversation just came right on time. Thank you, Snow Day.
right. Because I mean, this was, y'all know I love to go live. I love chit chat. Um, but I'm absolutely one of the people who, like, well, let me put on some clothes. Let me, you know, I don't have to, I'm not a, makeup, that type of person, but I'm like, let me
Mhm.
look relatively decent. But I keep seeing these posts like, just get on the thing, just do the stuff, just say the stuff, just make the videos. I'm like, what is this number? So look at God.
I'm
Um,
trying to see.
One thing I want to talk about before we wrap up, um, is because we've mentioned, like, getting out there and sisterhood and building those connections. Can you share? Can either of you all share? Anybody in the comments share? Um, when you had an opportunity to not be in a fellowship or a sisterhood that um, was building you up, and how you pivoted, made the pivot. I don't know if pivoted is the right word. How you
Mhm.
made the pivot from that, right? Because I would assume many of us have had, friendships, connections, different kind of things that weren't, maybe they started off okay and then they weren't anymore, or maybe they never were okay and we just did it because of trauma, whatever. But I'm just curious, like, if you had that experience and then how you made that pivot to something a little more healthy.
In all honesty, I really think that for the situations that I can think of, I honestly did not really do anything. The decision was made for me. And I used to look at it as a negative, like there was something wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm learning, just as growing in faith, that sometimes God will remove things and
Mm-hmm.
or people
Mm-hmm.
from you because you guys are not good for each
Mm-hmm.
other. Um,
Mm-hmm.
by no means will I say that any of the relationships, um, friendships, this, that, and the third that have been lost, I am not I'm not crazy enough to believe that I did not play a part in
Mm-hmm.
those things. I think thank you, boo. Sorry, my baby bought me a bowl of snacks. Uh, now, if I told y'all what was in this bowl, um, but I have learned to take accountability for those things while also
Mm-hmm.
navigating, not trying to hold all the guilt
Mm-hmm.
for me, and put it all on me and carry it myself, but just learning to accept that, that concept. And we hear this growing up all the time, but it's not until adulthood where we really understand it. But some people are in our lives for
Mm-hmm.
seasons, or a life.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as it hurts when what we believe is a lifetime does not play out that way, um, just sitting in a space of gratitude for what I did get
Mm-hmm.
while in those seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so learning to grieve
Mm-hmm.
those relationships um, is necessary. Um, but also just really sitting in a space of I can take accountability for what I can take accountability for, but I can also hold on to what lesson did I
Mm-hmm.
learn in this season or in this situation, so that moving forward, I either do not continue to operate in that same space and make the same mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
um, or I use it to help me grow
Mm-hmm.
as a person for the relationships that are still intact.
Hmm. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. A?
All of that, and to add on, as a person who has dealt or is navigating, um, abandonment and rejection. So when I
Mm,
meet somebody, whether it's like really good friends or even a guy, and I'm like, I don't want this to end, right?
mm,
And no matter what the signs say, I don't want this to end. And what I am learning, a couple things, is that to tack on to what you said, that sometimes, like, relationships, friendships just run their course. They have served the purpose that it was supposed to serve in that
mhm,
season. Now,
mhm,
that does not mean, as to your point, that grief won't be there. That does not mean that, like, you know what I mean, that means that it has served its purpose. And what was the other thing? That also, that if you hold on to what God is trying to pull away, you
mm,
you now that I'm understanding, because you're the one that's holding on, you are
mhm.
keeping the person who's supposed to now be in that
Ooh,
spot away, because God sees all. He's like, there's somebody else that now you're in a new season, so there's somebody else that's going to come in your new season, right? And so what I have learned is that when that happens, and I can't necessarily say this as a definite, because there are sometimes that God will have you do things alone,
absolutely.
but that if God is doing that, then that their replacement might come. You know what I mean? Like, He will replace, He will restore. Not
Mhm,
all the time, but some of the time. I don't want to have to expect that nigga they be mad.
mhm,
But definitely, like, the grieving, because it is a very real thing. And also knowing also that, so to actually answer the question, which I don't think I did, how did I pivot? Same thing. The decision wasn't, I didn't make the decision, because, like, I want everybody to be in my life forever. Like, so most of the time I don't make the decision. Um, most of the time, like, for certain friends, when I was back in college, I moved, and
Hmm.
not on purpose, but started a new life. And there are times where I can think about, like, even people who I wanted to be in relationship, in covenant, in friendship with here, it just never coalesce and just never connected. So that's when I took the stance, whomever is supposed to be in my life will be in my life. I don't have to, chase anybody. So
Mhm.
I just think it's just one of those things where, God, I don't like it. I
Mhm.
had this thought today that I might have to talk about, which may be totally counterproductive. But you know that verse that says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me."
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to do it. I know I can, but sometimes I don't want to.
That's
Um,
real.
so, but yeah, like it's just one of those things. Like, God, this does not feel good, and I trust
Mhm.
that you know better than me. So yeah.
That's so interesting that you all both are like, usually it's not me. My cutoff game was real and it was horrible. It was usually me. I was usually one, something that happened and I got offended, my feelings was hurt. I ain't like the way it took you too long to text me back. And I'm talking friendships. I was petty. Um, so I was the person that would cut off. And so I feel like as women, like we, at least I did, and you all can say if you had similar experiences, we kind of grew up thinking like women are catty, they
Mhm,
messy, you
mhm,
can't have good girlfriends. And so I think that was part of it. And I think the other part of it was, even though I'm a therapist and have all this training, I didn't always know how to talk to people. I didn't always know how to
Mhm.
have conversations, and I definitely didn't know how to um, have what Dr. Anissa calls courageous conversations. If something did happen, I didn't know how to be like, hey, that kind of hurt my feeling, or this is how I perceived it. I'm not sure if that's how you meant it, but this is what
Mhm.
happened. And so, as we are kind of wrapping this all up, since we've been on here for forever, um, in this season of like, we are growing spiritually, we are growing emotionally, we are growing in, entrepreneurially, in all these various areas of our lives, like how to learn how to navigate um, this space and this world and our connections in a healthy way, in a productive way. And that's part of the reason why I felt like the Lord really gave me this whole woman concept, the concept of a whole woman. Um, so I mentioned the woman with the issue of blood earlier, but there are other examples in the Bible where Jesus is like, you are now whole. Your faith has made you whole. Go and be whole. So it's a step beyond just being healed, not just a step beyond being healed and being whole in all of these various areas of our lives. And I feel like friendship is one of those things. Community is one of those things. Because sometimes we are loners, right? Because we don't know how to navigate relationships and friendships in a healthy way. Or we don't want to have those conversations. So to just mention the expo, and then I want to read the comment that was just came up. So I feel like there are four major dimensions of a whole woman. So there's eternally. So we talked about spiritual things, Christianity, our relationship with God. Emotionally, that's our mental health, mental wellness, friendships, relationships, all of those kind of things. Entrepreneurially, so that's anything related to our business, finances, any of that. So it's not like, oh, I don't have I don't have to deal with that area because I'm not in business for myself. If you work, if you make money, if you pay bills, entrepreneurially is for you. Entrepreneur realm is for you. And then lastly, externally. So that's physical
Mhm.
health, our physical appearance, things just related to the outer man. I think it's so important, like critical even, for us to be whole in all of those areas of our lives, because we talk a lot about having life and life more abundantly, but we're not living it.
Mhm.
Are we living it some in some areas and not fully in other areas? And so it is my heart's desire for us to be whole in all of those areas. And so that is what I'll be highlighting with the panels and the speakers and the vendors and all of the things that will be at a Whole Woman Expo in April. So April 11th from 9:30 to 4:30. Come join us. You can go to drshalay.com/current event to go ahead and register. And the first 25 ladies to register get a discount in price. So let me read this comment, and then if Candace or Dr. A have any final thoughts. Some relationships, friendships are meant for a season or for a lifetime. I had a best friend from high school, and I felt we were close at the time until she moved to California. And I found myself chasing her. Oh shoot, what I click on? Um, chasing her down when she changed her number. I could always call her grandmother to get her new number. Listen, my grandma got the same number. I am 52 years old, and she the one number I know by heart because it's been the same number all my life. Long story short, God had to tell me to cut her off because she used to always tell me, "Girl, I'm jealous of you." Wow, and I thought she was just talking. Wow, so she was telling you, and God was letting you know to go ahead and cut it off. But because sometimes we don't recognize that the season has ended, we try to hold on, as Dr. A said. And if you think about it, if anybody has ever held on to like a rope or something or a hot pan, if you holding on, you hurting you. You're injuring yourself by not letting go. It can only burn your hand. It can only cut your hand if you don't let it go. So yeah, sometimes these friendships, these relationships, these partnerships, these business, connections, sometimes we hold it on and it's time to release and let it go. So Dr. A, Constance, final words.
No final words. It was a good conversation. Good impromptu live.
Ah,
Absolutely. I was gonna say just thank you for having the space. We talking about being in fellowship with other women, and I started to make every excuse in the world of why I should not accept your request to request to join. And so I'm glad that I did. Moving unafraid. As much as I am a talker, I actually shy away from situations like this because I don't like to talk. Sounds weird. No. But I'm glad that I did. It was an amazing conversation.
yes, well, praise God for the snow day. Praise God for you ladies popping on. Praise God for those of you in the comments. So I'm going to be sure that when I go back through and read more thoroughly to connect with all of you because I love building my sister circle. Like, I love just being connected. And I really, really love when I meet my Facebook friends in real life. So exciting to me. So yes, so if you're interested, just as we wrap up, if you're interested in a support group, an accountability group, a group where we're going to pray and worship, and you can just tap in 6 times over the course of the year starting next month, then sign up for swag, support, worship, and accountability group. And then also, if you're interested in learning more about becoming a whole woman, then please, please, please come to a Whole Woman Expo, April 11th. You have Dr. A here, so if you're interested or need an educational consultant, if you need a photographer, she didn't mention that part. If you need a photographer, especially for like graduation, is really right around the corner. Headshots, any of those kind of things, she's your person. Then you got Constance over here. She doing therapy. She making t-shirts. If you missed the beginning, she got some journals coming out. All of the things. So if you watch this and you're not connected to these two ladies, please connect. And if you're in the comments and I'm not connected with you, then let's be sure to connect as well. So I love you guys. Thank you again, ladies, for hanging out with me. This is so good. Thank you, Sunshine, Juanita, with a couple other names I can't see right now, but thank all of you for hanging out. Now, y'all, go stay warm, drink some hot cocoa, watch a good movie. Okay, last thing. What we watching? What we about to watch when we get off? What TV shows, movie, series? What you looking at, Dr. A?
I'm trying to make sure my mic not muted. That's why I'm looking at like this. I am watching. There's this documentary. I think it's on Tubi, talking about the black cowboy that popped up. It's either on Tubi or Peacock, one of them. And I wanted to check that out. Since I have all the downtime, I'm gonna finish some grades and check that out.
Okay, cool, Constance. What you and the baby watching?
I was in there watching nothing but trouble.
Trouble. That's the
The
name
weekend,
of it.
nothing but trouble. You remember the old movie with Bobo and Little Devil?
Never heard of the movie. Now I gotta go look it
Never
up.
heard that movie.
But my son and I, we have been binge watching MasterChef from the beginning.
Yes.
So we'll probably watch some more MasterChef as well.
Okay, I love MasterChef. I love. Somebody asked me one time. They was like, "You like to cook?" I was like, "No, I like to watch people cooking." Like, but I don't cook. I love it. I've been rewatching The Closer. I don't know if y'all remember that
I
show.
started watching that the other day. Restarted watching that. Yeah.
I love that show. I love like Law and Order ish type show.
Mm-hmm.
I watched His and Hers last week. That's really
Watch
good.
that.
All Her Fault on Peacock was really good.
Watch that.
Uh, I've been suckered into watching Smallville, which is not a show that I ever would have watched voluntarily, but now I'm like, I'm vested. I gotta figure out what Clark Kent is doing. David said he's watching The Conjuring 4 now. I'm fool with them scary movies now. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I feel like I feel like I
I
walked out. I feel like I went to a Conjuring, well, taking the kid from church. They wanted to go see it.
Mm-mm.
I feel like I walked out of the theater and sat in the lobby until it was over. I was like, I'm not doing this with you.
I'm scary. I be looking under my bed. Listen, all the closet doors closed or open, depending on my mood. I can't do the scary movies. Miss
Mm-mm.
Juanita said she's watching One Night with the King. What is that on? Is that on like it's so many streaming apps now? I never know which one to watch. I said we was ending. I'm so extra. Who's watching Bridgerton when it come out next week?
I am. I'm gonna catch up. Like I said, I stopped watching after the first season because I was mad the black guy wasn't on there no more, and it just lost all its luster for me. But I'm gonna catch up for the one that's coming out.
Okay, catch up. I'm interested to see how they going do this. I've watched all of them because I don't know why I like that period piece, but I think I like it because
Mhm.
Shonda wrote it. I think that's what it is. Uh, okay, let me go. All right. I love, I love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out.
Thank
Signing
you for
off.
having me.
Of course. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bless Dr. S.